ngosuku olukhethekileyo ngo-10 ka-April. Vumani ke ngoko agabule izigcawu ummeli kaNkulumbuso. Dala ke ndiyibuzo lento mqwathi kuthiwa uNkulumbuso. uNkulumbuso akekho apha ekhantrini. He's in China. The acting premier, Honorable MEC Fikile Xhasa of Kokta. He's standing here on behalf of the Premier of the Eastern Cape. Over to you, acting premier.
Program Director, umongameli welizwe olapha phakathi kwethu, ifamily yakwaMadikizela, oMandela, Kumkani, nenkosi, isikhokelo sombutho kwilizwe lonke, ephondweni, nalapha engingqini, isikhokelo senkonzo, ngokukhokelwa ziibhishophu. Yimini enkulu le, ayifuni ukoniwa, ngoba ukhona umuntu omkhulu ekuthiwe mandimphakamisa. Lowo ke bendibone abantu bemkhahlele efika, ngaqonda uba bayamazi, abadingi ukuba makaziswe. Wonyulwe phaa kwinkomfa kazwelonke ngoDisemba, ungumongameli we-African National Congress. Apha ezintsukwini waphinda wanikwa uxanduva olongeziweyo lokuba ngumongameli welizwe lonke. Xa simamele ke noko sifumana ithemba. Ngoku ke kufuneka silive ithemba ngokwalo liphakama lithetha nabantu base-Eastern Cape ngale mini inkulu kamama uWinnie ongasekhoyo. Ndibiza wena ke mongameli, enkosi.
Over to you, my Honorable Excellency, Mongameli.
Molweni. Dumela. Sanbonani. Dimasiari.
Abu.
Abshin.
Aye.
KhiwasMedia. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir.
Ndiyabulela. Mandiqalise ngokubulela program directors ngokuqhuba lo msebenzi omhle kangaka onabantu abayi 26,001. Lo one beam. Ndiyavuya ukuba lapha ndibulise wena oqhuba umsebenzi, ndibulise nabefundisi, ndibone ukumkani oza nozuko nabanye ukumkani, ndibulise namakhosi alapha, ndibulise leenkokheli ze-political parties ezilapha, ANC, UDM, Democratic Alliance, EFF, AIC, ICOPE, mhlambe nabanye abangekho apha. Ndibulise no masipala umayors abalapha phakathi kwethu neenkokheli zonke ezikhona lapha ezamanye amaqembu abafana noSanko, oKhosatu, o-SACP abangekho eParliament. Ndibulise nani nonke comrades and friends and fellow South Africans. This is a memorial, a very special memorial that has been organized by the provincial government of the Eastern Cape. Sibulele, who acting premier, acting premier Kasa, who premier is traveling elsewhere, and all the MECs. Sibulele for organizing this wonderful memorial here in the Eastern Cape. Nyani, this is a very special occasion. It is a special occasion to celebrate impilo ikamama Winnie Madikizela Mandela. Just over a week ago, our country was shattered by the devastating news of the passing away of our beloved mother, Umama Winnie, whom we unmistakably and befittingly call the mother of our nation. Symbolic of her own special place in our struggle for freedom, justice and equality, Umama Winnie took her last breath right at the beginning of the month of April, a month of massive historical significance in the political life of our country. Kulabo abangaqhelanga ukujonga kakuhle, April is quite an important month in the history of our country. Kulo April, the seeds of division, the seeds of oppression, the seeds of colonialism, racism, exploitation and apartheid were planted with the arrival of Jan van Riebeeck in South Africa in April in 1652. It was on this very month, 342 years later, in 1994, that apartheid colonialism was finally uprooted and the oppressed people of our country won their freedom. It also happened in April. In the intervening period, we lost many freedom fighters whose only sin was to defy and undermine the unjust laws of the apartheid regime by boldly asserting that they too were human. Even in this regard, the month of April imposed its political significance by claiming amongst those freedom fighters the most celebrated giants of our revolution. We remember and pay tribute to Chris Tembisile Hani, whose life was brutally cut short by unrepentant apartheid apologists exactly 25 years ago today in this very month of April. Comrade Chris was indeed a fearless revolutionary whose radical ideas made the apartheid regime very, very uncomfortable. We continue to draw inspiration from him as we pursue our program of radical socio-economic transformation. We also remember the gallant Solomon Kalushi Mahlangu, who never betrayed the cause of freedom even when quite literally confronted with death. We pay homage to the unparalleled icon of our struggle, who also hails from Bizana, our longest-serving president, Isitwalandwe, Comrade Oliver Reginald Tambo. The spirit of President Tambo continues to guide us as we seized with efforts to build a renewed, united, and totally cohesive ANC that is best placed to serve the interests of the people of South Africa. In recognition of the role Mama Winnie played in building the ANC and our nation, we have gathered here to make an unequivocal statement that whilst we mourn Umama Winnie for her passing away, we are also here to celebrate her life, because it was a life that was well-lived and selflessly dedicated to the improvement of the condition of others. There are a lot of memorial services taking place throughout the length and the breadth of our country. And there are many people, many South Africans, both within the ANC, outside of the ANC, who are paying tribute to Mama Winnie Nomzamo Madikizela Mandela. Mama Winnie was a product of her time, but she was also a product of this area where we are today. She was a child of this place where she was born and where she grew up. Earlier this morning, we went to the area where she was actually born, and we met the Madikizela family. Just as we landed from the helicopter, we were immediately greeted by omama baselalini. Kanti babulisa bathi ndinguMadikizela mna, omunye naye uthi uMadikizela. Later I got to hear ukuthi utatomkhulu wakhe wayenabafazi abayi-80 something. Hayi ndabona ukuthi nyani lo tata hayi ke wachata nyani bathi wayenamadikazi ayi-3. So namhlanje sivile ukuthiwa bekunomunye uMadikizela naye wayenamakhosikazi ayi-42. So le ndawo ke le mbizane sikuyo, it is the home, the true home of uMama Winnie Nomzamo Madikizela Mandela. We have met her family. Just as you move around, you meet her family. When I spoke earlier at the home, Yenati uMama Winnie had said that she wanted to bring me to Bizana where she was born. I said she had wanted to bring me here. Ndavuma ndathi ewe mama ndifuna ukuya la uvela khona, ndifuna ukuyobona ukuthi la uvela khona bakhona na abantu abahle njengawe na. Beniloko nimxelela umama, each time I met her, I always said, awu mama awusemhle. Throughout the ages, ndike ndamxelela ndathi hayi into ekhona nje ukuthi ndimncinci. If uMadiba, if nambe nikhona ngalelo xesha uMadiba edibana nawe, hayi bengizawukhompyutha naye uMadiba nyana. So ndifikile ke apha. As I am here now, I just see indeed ukuthi the beauty that uMama Winnie had in her life is duplicated and replicated by the many beautiful women that I see here in Bizana. uMama Winnie, she joined the ANC and became an activist at a time when the generation before her, that of Nelson Mandela and others, had successfully propelled the African National Congress onto a higher terrain of struggle. She was inducted into the radical politics of defiance and non-cooperation with the apartheid regime. And this I got a taste of, because when I was where she was born, ndivekuthiwa apha lapho uMama Winnie azalwa khona, apha la uMama Winnie akhulele khona, khange kube ne-missionary, khange kube ne-trading station. Abantu baphaya bebeziphilela impilo yabo without being contaminated by colonialism at all in the area where she grew up. And that is where I think she got the seeds of non-cooperation and defiance. She was from the onset part of a determined force of resistance who understood that pacifism was not the answer to repression. She believed quite correctly that freedom would have to be fought for and achieved, and that the methods of struggle chosen by our democratic movement would always have to be commensurate with the strategies employed by the enemy to effect oppression. Her actions were therefore at all times informed by the commitment to enhance the capacity of our movement to fight effectively against apartheid and eliminate anything that threatens to weaken that capacity. Learning from her, and in respect of the current context, we have mobilized our democratic forces to do everything that is possible to enhance our capacity to fight effectively against poverty, against unemployment, and against inequality, as well as to eliminate anything that threatens to weaken that capacity, including selfish acts of grand corruption and state capture. If there was anything uMam'Winnie hated, was corruption and this thing, this demon that has come into our midst now called state corruption. Why is zonda land state corruption and state capture? I am making this point about uMam'Winnie being a product of a time because there are some within our borders and beyond who have sought to demonize her character, even in death, by referring to what they deem to be massive excesses on her praxis of the revolutionary struggle against apartheid. I could not find a better response to these critics than the words of German revolutionary Bertolt Brecht, who, writing in his poem to posterity, advises the generations that will come after him as follows: "You who shall emerge from the flood in which we are sinking, think when you speak of our weaknesses, also of the dark time that brought them forth. For we went changing our country from more often than our shoes. In the class war, despairing when there was only injustice and no resistance, for we knew only too well, even the hatred of squalor makes the brow grow stern. Even anger against injustice makes the voice grow harsh. Alas, we who wish to lay the foundations of kindness could not ourselves be kind. But you, when at last it comes to pass, that man can help his fellow men, do not judge us too harshly." uMam'Winnie will always have a special place in our hearts. She has made an indelible mark in the life of our nation. She was a symbol of hope to all the oppressed and a source of courage for those who wanted to fight against injustice. Go around our country and ask those who were around in 1976. Go around our country and ask those who were around in the 70s, in the 80s, to find out the strength and the courage ikamamwini. Go around and find out from those who suffered under the brute force of apartheid. You will hear them say there was no one who had more courage, who had more commitment, who was stronger than uMam'Winnie Nomzamo Madikizela Mandela. She was there on the home front with the different generations of youth who kept the flames of freedom burning when the apartheid regime thought it forced the liberation movement into a state of lull. She was there in the 70s, taking advantage of the energies of the youth and guiding a generation that would later change the course of the history of our country for good. She was there to harness the anger and the impatience of young people by recruiting them into the ranks of Umkhonto weSizwe. These are the young people who made up the heroic June 16 detachment to which Solomon Mahlangu belonged. She was there to lend a hand and offer all the necessary political support when pupils who wanted to unambiguously associate with themselves with the Congress movement founded the Congress of South African Students. It is no surprise, therefore, that ICOSAS made her its honorary and lifetime president. In the 80s, uMam'Winnie continued to work with young people on the ground to up the ante against the increasingly murderous apartheid regime. She played a significant role in ensuring that young people of our country do respond positively when the call was made by President O.R. Tambo to make South Africa ungovernable and apartheid unworkable. She continued to inspire many of the actions of the death-defying young lions of Oliver Tambo, which accelerated the fall of the apartheid regime. uMam'Winnie was there to inspire the student movement in our country that was led by SASCO and its predecessor SANSCO, and AZASO to play a bigger role in opposing apartheid. Her role in the processes to dissolve SAICO and relaunch the ANC Youth League in 1990 cannot be overemphasized. She continued to inspire the militancy of the Youth League even after the 1994 democratic breakthrough, with the intention only to communicate to the ANC that it is not yet Uhuru and that the struggle continues. When the political reasoning of the Youth League came into conflict with that of the leadership of the ANC a few years ago, she was there on the side of young people because she genuinely believed that the contradictions brought about by the Youth League were consistent with the history of the ANC and necessary for a forward movement and momentum to take our country forward. The point I'm trying to make here is that uMam'Winnie was always on the side of young people. Because of her age-defying militancy, she identified more with radicalism and impetuousness of the youth than with the conservatism associated with many of her age. It was this relationship she had with young people in the struggle that correctly earned her the title of Mother of the Nation, which she earned in the trenches of the struggle. And it was not a title that was given to her in some boardroom or in some meeting. Winnie endured a lot of pain that was visited upon her for nothing other than fighting and opposing the apartheid. If there is a mother of children, if there is a wife, if there is a leader of the women of our country, and if there is a leader of the ANC who endured a lot of struggle, pain, humiliation, and suffering, it is none other than uMama Winnie Nomzamo Madikizela Mandela. The apartheid regime sought to break her spirit. They sought to destroy her by constantly harassing her family, subjecting her to the worst forms of torture, detaining her without trial, putting her in solitary confinement, banishing her to a place that is far away from her home, and imposing on her a long-distance relationship with her husband and her children. But consistent with the character of the generation of defiant and resilient men and women from which she came, uMama Winnie's spirit was never broken. uMama Winnie never gave up. Mama Winnie never betrayed the struggle. uMama Winnie never sold out. uMama Winnie never betrayed her people. uMama Winnie emerged out of every situation meant to break her, even stronger and more powerful, more courageous, and much more determined. That was Winnie Mandela. Not once did she succumb to that persistent inner voice that always, in fear of pain and loneliness, offers the unsolicited advice that one must hang up their boots and live to fight another day. Abaninzi phakathi kwethu besizawuthi xa sidibana nobunzima uMama Winnie wadibana nabo besizawuthi hayi mandiyeke ke ngoku mandimele ecaleni kuye abanye phambili okanye mandihlale phansi ndike ndiphumle. uMama Winnie never gave up, and she never rested for one single moment because she was constantly busy being the true mother of the nation. She instead stubbornly chose the path that put her firmly on collision course with the apartheid regime, daring them to do their worst, proclaiming the fear of nothing, determined to die with her boots on and asserting on every available platform that her people must not lose hope because the cause of freedom shall always surely triumph. uMama Winnie was also a symbol of women's emancipation. Throughout her life as a political activist, she did not conform to the politics of respectability and sexist gender roles. She did not see women as being inferior to men by any measure at all. She inspired many women to fight against patriarchal relations of power, even within her own movement, the African National Congress. The resolution of the ANC at the Polokwane Conference to have equal representation of both men and women in all leadership structures, popularly known as the 50-50 policy, came as a result of women's struggles over many years. Mamuini played no small part in this struggle, especially in her role as the president of the Women's League at the time. She was a true Mbogoto. If there ever was in Mbogoto, it was clearly represented in the personality and the life of Mamuini. She was a Mbogoto who did everything in her power to advance as well as to defend the cause of women, not only in the African National Congress, but in the whole country as a whole. In her honor, we call upon especially young women to take up the baton and organize themselves in order to confront all the social ills that continue to oppress them on the basis of their gender. We also call upon men in our society to say no to the abuse of women and to denounce and abandon backward patriarchal attitudes towards women. And we say this because Mamuini, who we revere and whose life we applaud today, would not approve that men should continue behaving in a patriarchal manner towards women. We are proud that as Mamuini departs, she was very happy about some of the resolutions that we took at the 54th National Conference of the ANC. She was particularly happy about the resolutions that form the backbone of our program of radical socio-economic transformation, particularly the one that deals with the expropriation of land without compensation. She was also happy about the resolutions of our conference that focused on the issue of ensuring that we will indeed reduce unemployment in our country, that indeed we will reduce inequality, and that indeed we will reduce poverty in our country. When the top 6 leaders of the ANC went to visit her, she said she was truly honored because it was the first time that the top leaders of the country had come to meet her as a collective, and we were very proud to have done so. We were particularly proud to have done so because through that visit, we gave Mamuini the honor that she has always deserved, to be respected and to be honored as an icon of our revolution and as a leading light of our struggle as well. We are determined to correct the original sin of the violent dispossession of our people's land and its wealth. We are cognizant of the fact that Mamuini will only rest in peace if we restore the dignity of our people by ensuring that, yes, they have an equal claim to the land of their forebears and their birth. And I want to assure all and sundry that this we will not retreat from. We will ensure that what Umamwini struggled and fought for, we will want to realize. What she also struggled and fought for was the unity of the African National Congress. When we told her that our conference had resolved that we are going to strengthen the African National Congress, we are going to renew the African National Congress, and we are going to continue uniting the African National Congress, Umamwini was overjoyed because she said this has been her lifelong task and she would like to see us achieve that task, and we will unite the African National Congress, her glorious movement. As we continue honoring her legacy, we must seek to emulate her by being honest and hard-working servants of the people of South Africa. Like Umamwini, we must have the courage to speak truth to power when we see that things are clearly going wrong. Because Umamwini, she always had the courage and the strength and the resolve to speak truth to power. We must work, yes indeed, to renew this movement, to unite this ANC and make it an effective instrument in the hands of our people, yes, to transform the country that she so loved. Umamwini, as we will lay her to rest on Saturday, long for a South Africa that will have rid itself of all the ills that have dogged our country. As the first black social worker in our country, she longs to see a South Africa that had rid itself of poverty. The people that she served, she wanted to see them lead a happy and prosperous life. She wanted to see the children of this country being properly educated. Yes, that is what Umamwini wanted to see. And those of us who now remain, we have a huge task both here in this region, both here in this province, and yes, throughout the length and the breadth of our country, to fulfill the dreams that Umamwini Nomzamo Matikizela Mandela had. The lesson that she leaves us with is that we should be men and women of great courage like she had. We should be men and women of great commitment like she had. We should be men and women who are determined to serve the interests of our people and no other interests. Because as Umamwini served our people, she did not serve her own family. She did not serve any other interest. All she ever knew, Umamwini Nomzamo Matikizela Mandela, she only knew to serve the people of South Africa, and that is what she was committed to. So I end, therefore, by saying, as we celebrate her life today, it should not just be an act of putting her body into that coffin and into the ground. It should be an act where her spirit, where her courage, and where her determination will regenerate itself in our hearts and in our minds, so that Sisonke, as the people of this country, we should continue serving the people of our country. If we ever wanted to know anyone in the length and the breadth of this country who responded positively to the call of Tumamina, it was Umama Winnie Madikizela Mandela. She always said Tumamina, and she always went. Let us be like her. City, yes, Tumatina, we will go and finish the work that she started. We will go and finish the work that she was doing. And masambeni ke siyogqibezela umsebenzi owawenza uMamuyini ngoba usasemninzi lo msebenzi. Masithunywe namhlanje xa siyombeka uyasicela sisonke uthi ngiyanithuma ke hambani niyogqibezela umsebenzi wami. Ndiyabulela.
Cyril, ezandleni siphakame sonke sibulela intetha inhle kangaka nemanje kankokeli wethu upresident. Nkosi president. Siyabulela thina. Bayadangile. Uyalebuka. Sibonga. Kuba bethu.
Sure. Hallelujah. Hey, Mama, sing Candice. Sing Candice. That's moving. Everyone out there. Hey, Mama, sing Candice. Sing Candice. That's moving. Everyone out there. Ramaphosa.